Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? This is Sami here representing Team JVS, here to give you guys one of our first reviews, a part and associated to Tribeca 2020. We are going to be doing press coverage for the entire festival to our great excitement. The first one on the list is going to be Family Dinner. Family Dinner was directed by Pia Hierzegger. And essentially the backdrop is you have a young lady. She's a bit overweight. Her name is Simi. Simi has a aunt who is a weight loss enthusiast that's world renowned, and she brings it upon herself to want to visit her aunt Claudia to try to see if she can possibly help her out, help her achieve her goal of losing a little bit of weight in a short amount of time, to just kind of make herself feel a lot better. Little did Simi know that her world was about to change the moment that she decided to spend Easter with the family. So the backdrop of this is it's only really four characters. It is Simi, it is Claudia, which is the aunt, is Stefan, who technically is the uncle, and Filipp, who is the cousin. Now, Filipp is the character that he's really eccentric. He seems like he's got a lot of stuff going on with him mentally and emotionally. But he also seems like he's very submissive to his mother specifically. And he doesn't really seem like he vibes with Stefan, the pseudo stepfather. And it showed you very early on that there's some things that are going on that just don't add up. And it starts with Claudia being very obsessive compulsive, and also very controlling in the way that she works with, handles, and interacts with her son, Filipp. And Simi sees all this, and she doesn't know what to do with it. And so that's some of to give you guys layers without spoiling any of it. I think that this is a well-done suspense horror, kind of, because it's not necessarily a direct horror, but it does get very violent sometimes. It does get very scary. And also, there's some sadistic things and tendencies that are going on with a lot of different imagery, whether it's somebody having a dream. Like there's a moment that Simi has a dream because she's trying to go through with this diet situation. She goes to the refrigerator. Refrigerator's just ominously empty. And her uncle Stefan comes down there and is like, oh, you felt tempted tonight. And it comes off so strange. And the eeriness, it escalates throughout the whole entire movie for the most part. Like it continues to build to the point that the whole entire time, like Simi is trying to diet. She's trying to go through the process of losing the weight. And the more she's submitting herself to that, the more things are just starting to get worse. So it plays upon your weakness of like, is this real? Is this not? Is this her getting dehydrated and too much going on? Or is this really actually happening? And the other thing that's really interesting is that because there are no other people in this, it reminds me of the movie The Visit, M. Night Shyamalan, where these two kids go and they think they're going to see their grandparents, and nobody else is in the movie except for when they go and do FaceTime, but nobody else is physically there. And that's the same situation, but it's really just Simi by herself. I think the actress that plays the role of Simi, she does an amazing job. Nina does an amazing job as that character, because there are times where she knows when to stand up for times. There's times where she kind of comes off as more childlike. It's like, I don't understand what's really going on. And same thing for the actor that plays the role of Filipp, Alexander. I think he does a really good job as well. But I think the ones that really stand out is honestly Michael Pink as Stefan. There's something about his character that's just off. And the way that he carries his presence throughout this movie, I can never really peg it. And I think even more so than Pia that plays the role of Claudia, you know for a fact that there's something there. You can't really understand it, but I think the director does a really good job of keeping you at bay with comprehending what is really going on. And by the time the movie ends, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like trauma, emotional damage. So I think that it was really well done. The thing about it is that it's really simplistic in its nature. It's not like an elaborate story necessarily, nor does it need to be. I think that there were moments where it could have extended outside of this farm area and made it really more interesting. There are things and segments they don't really recall, and you can see some of the stuff in the trailers. Like there's a whole stack of just trees, so not trees, but sticks. They're all lined up. It looks like a huge bonfire. It's like what is with that? Or why does this person have this traditional perspective on this? Or how did Claudia come to get to doing the weight loss? Some of those things don't get answered. It's more so like Simi going through the situation and us as the audience just kind of going along with her. I don't think this is a bad film. I do think that there are things where I felt like, I don't know, this is a little bit over exaggerated, but then there's sometimes it's so overly simplistic that I was just like, I don't know. But I do think that it is worth watching. I think if you're a horror fan, suspense horror fan, I think it's worth checking out, but it is not going to be for everybody because by the end of the film, you're not going to feel good. It is not a good feeling at all. Matter of fact, it is a horrific one. There was another film that I saw recently with Sebastian Stan, and that one, it was fun and it had moments where it was uncomfortable, but it is entertaining. This is not for entertainment. This is really just kind of a demented situation. And I found it very funny that how they ended up progressing this thing. I was like, wow, this is something that it's not for everybody. I'll rest this at a 7 out of 10. Hopefully you guys go and check it out. It releases out June the 10th. It premieres at Tribeca and it also releases on June the 10th. So definitely let me know your thoughts when you get to see it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button, and thank you again for Tribeca for allowing us to do press coverage moving forward this year. All right, guys. Peace, everybody.
Falling off the top